Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ajulan here. Thank you so much for coming around, and if this is your first time of coming across my channel, consider subscribing and don't forget to turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I post a new video. So for today's tutorial, I'll quickly share with us on how to make an off-the-shoulder crop top for a baby girl. So if you're interested, keep on watching. My African print, this is 2 yards, and I'll be needing my elastic. This is 1/2 inch elastic for around the shoulder and the waist area. This is 1/2 inch, and I'll also need this smaller one for the sleeve. So I'm going to start by folding this one. This is actually a 10-minute project. You don't need to take much of your time, okay, because there's no lining. It's just for you to cut it, and before you know it, you are done with the dress. I'm going to fold now. So here my fabric is on fold, and I'll be using a 10-year-old measurement for this top. So now the length that I'll be working with is 19 inches. So I'm going to mark out 19 inches. Then I'll be leaving 2 inches below because we are going to add the elastic on this lower part. So I'm going to leave 2 inches. That will make it 21 inches. I'm going to connect that now to a straight line. So here I have my 21 inches which I needed for the length. The next thing to do now is to mark out the armhole measurement, which is 6.5. So this is 6.5 here. I'm going to mark that and connect to a straight line. Okay, so this is the armhole line. The next thing to do is to mark out the shoulder half of the shoulder measurement, which is 6.5. because the shoulder measurement is 13 inches. So this is 6.5 here, and I'll mark the same on this armhole line and then connect. Okay, now this is the easiest method for you to go about the off shoulder part of this top. Okay, so now this is the 1/2 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I'm going to check what I have there now. 6 inches of this is 3. So this is 3. I'm going to connect this now to a straight line. This is where the off shoulder is going to come in. Okay, so this is 3.5 for this shoulder line. Then I'll connect it to a straight line like this. Okay, so after connecting it now, remember that we are going to add elastic on the neck part of this top. So I'm going to add 3 inches from this point. Here you can also make it for depending on the volume you're trying to achieve. So I'll just make mine 3 inches, which is this point here, and then I will extend the line. Okay, now the next thing to do is to mark out the chest measurement. Now the chest measurement is 32. 32 divided by 4 is 7.75. So 32 divided by 4 is 8 rather. So this is 8 inches here. Okay, since I am using 3 inches, I am going to add the same 3 inches there, and then I'll connect. Okay, I'm going to connect it this way. You can also decide to use your French curve or even your free hand to do this part. Okay, so now the next thing is the waist measurement. Okay, so from the shoulder to the waist measurement, which is the body's length, if it's a gown, is 13.5. so that is the point there. I'm going to connect it. I'm going to make it to a straight line and then mark out the waist measurement on this part. Okay, this part is really optional. You can just skip it and you also get it right. So the waist measurement is, I'm going to use the same thing I use as the bust or the chest measurement. This is 8, and then I'm going to add the 3 inches as well. Okay, so I'm going to connect all these. I'll use the same to this part. I'm going to just connect to a straight line down, and then we continue. So here you can see I just connected that to a straight line. So before you continue, you make sure to note whatever you have from shoulder line to this midpoint that we're using to shoulder. So mine, I have 3.5 there. So I'm going to note it because that is what we're going to use on the sleeve when we want to cut the sleeve pattern. Okay, so I'm going to, the next thing to do is for the neckline, you can try to leave it straight, or you also decide to make it U-neck depending on the type of neckline you want to use. So for mine, I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, so now the next thing to do is to cut. This is the front pattern, and for the back pattern, I am going to cut it like this as well because I will not be adding any zip. Cut this out, I'll be adding the allowance I'll be needing to add my elastic. Now I have half inch elastic, so I'm going to just mark out 1 inch is okay for me to use, because that is, let me just put the elastic. Okay, so I'm going to add 1 inch now. That's with my allowance for elastic. So I'll just add it and connect the straight line back to that line there. So this is my finish, and then I'll cut that. The sleeve, I'm going to start by marking out the length of my sleeve. So this sleeve, I'll be making it a 3/4 sleeve, and the length is going to be 14 inches. I'm going to mark out 14 inches now. 14 inches plus, this time I'm making it 1.5 because I'll be using this more elastic for this part of my sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to add 1.5 to that, making it 15.5 inches. That is for the length of my sleeve. So I'm going to connect that to a string. Okay. So now remember that I said you should note what you're using. That is the point where you decided to choose as your off the shoulder. Mine was 3.5. I'm going to mark that out on this line. This is 3.5. Okay, and then I'm going to add 3 inches. Remember that is what I used all through. So this is 3 inches because this part is I'm going to add as well this part. So this is 3 inches. So the next thing to do is to take one of the front or either the back and place it. Now we're going to cut out this part, which is this hole. So this is it. I'm going to trace it now so that at the end of the day we are going to have a matching armhole here. Okay, so this is it. Now the round sleeve measurement, that is this part, it is 12 inches, which is 3 because this is on fold already. So this is 3 here. Okay, plus 3 inches, which I am using because of the elastic. So this part we start. So before we remember for this part that This is the sleeve and this is the dress. So I'm going to start now by joining the sleeve. Okay, I'm going to take one, and then I'll take one of the sleeve now and join the armhole together like this. Okay, so I'm going to close this up and also repeat it on this other side. Elastic, I am going to fold it now using that inch to fold it in. You can start anywhere, okay, this way, and then you fold. Okay, then when you fold this way, you make sure that by the time you add your elastic, there's room for it to move around. So I'm going to take it this way now and sew it all the way around, and then after sewing it now, I'm going to leave a little space where I'll be passing my elastic through from. Okay, so now let me just do the sewing now and then we continue. Tipping, this is a small one to pass my elastic through. Now to know how many inches that you need, just take your elastic and pass it on that area to know how many inches that will be okay for you. So for me, I am using 7.5. This is 7.5 inches here. Okay, so I'm going to take my safety pin now and pass it through, and I'll repeat the same on the other side. And this same process applied to the neck area. Just take the elastic and pass it around our neck to know how many inches of elastic that you'll be needing. And there's a trick to this. You can also, maybe the baby is close to you, so you can just use the chest measurement. Whatever you have as the chest measurement, just use it as and cut out on your elastic and you're good to go. But the best is to measure area. I just use my elastic and pass it through and then secure. Okay, now so the next thing to do is to do the same on this neckline. It's very easy. I'm going to start from the point that I left some inches. That is where I'll be passing my elastic from. Okay, so I'm going to take my elastic. Here I have 32 inches. I'm going to pass it through now, same way I did with the sleeve part of this dress. I'm going to pass through. So I'm going I have after putting the elastic on this neckline here. I'm going to adjust it very well now so that it's going to look nice and well fitted on this part. After adjusting it, I'm going to stitch my elastic. Okay, so I'm going to stitch it together here now and then close up this opening. Then the next thing to do is to close the side, and I will repeat exactly what I did on this neckline to this, this lower part of the top, and we are through with this top. So let me just adjust it and then close up this elastic part and the sides. Then I will also close the lower part, and then I'll show you the final look of this crop top. The elastic and use and pass it through, and that is how easy and simple it is to cut and sew an off the shoulder crop top for a baby girl. So guys, that is it for today. Please subscribe and don't forget to turn on the bell icon so that